Hi everybody, my name's Scott West. I'm a Senior Product Marketing Manager here at Datto, working on the Datto networking product line.
And I'm John Tippett, Vice President of Networking here at Datto.
You know, John, recently we had a lot of information coming out about DattoCon. Obviously, DattoCon's coming up in San Diego in June of this year. I just read recently a blog that was introducing some of the boot camps. And so I'd like to spend some time today, if you don't mind, talking about the boot camp, specifically the one that I read that was called Networking Technologies. You know, we're Datto Networking, we work on the Datto Networking product line. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what the Networking Technologies boot camp is all about?
Yeah, this is our first networking boot camp. We've had Datto Networking in the market for a couple of years now. We've had a lot of great conversation with partners, a lot of exciting developments around the product. And this is our first opportunity to have a technically oriented boot camp where we can get partners in a room and we can share a lot of that knowledge from the Datto Networking team back to our partners.
So is it installing Datto Networking? Is it like focusing in on the Datto Networking product line as far as partners learning how to use it?
It's actually not focused on Datto Networking at all. It's just the Datto Networking team and the collective knowledge of the team, and we're going to share that information with attendees. So when you think about networking is built around standards, right? Mm-hmm. And there's different manufacturers and brands, Datto Networking being one, but the way that all these products intercommunicate is because it's standards-based. And so this session is focused around those standards and more around best practices. We'll talk about the different technology, how you use it, considerations and deployment. And of course there'll be Datto Networking gear, but the intent is simply to use it to show how we're accomplishing our site planning and things like that. You can take all the knowledge you learn from the session and apply it to any brand. Of course, we hope you like Datto Networking and use Datto Networking, but by no means is this a sales session at all.
Okay, so if I'm an MSP and I'm considering DattoCon, which of the people that are thinking about going, who should go to this?
Short of everyone.
Right.
No, you know what's neat about it is MSPs, and as a former MSP, I can tell you that networking is unavoidable. I'm tempted now to say for us, but when you're in the IT field, networking's everywhere. Wireless networking, wired networking, and it's becoming more and more critical across all businesses, not just larger businesses taking it seriously. And so this is an opportunity for anyone that wants to refresh on overall technology. If you feel like you're an expert, you could still come and learn because you're going to see from, not only individual experts, but we talk to lots of partners and have a lot of information that's valuable. Or if you're just getting started with your MSP, if you're bringing techs to DattoCon, a lot of the attendees will come and have a business owner and bring a tech as well. It's a great way to kind of send them through this boot camp to get a good understanding of networking through and through, from edge routing, switches, Wi-Fi, site deployments, the whole 9 yards. So really there's a lot of different folks who could benefit from attending the session.
So why are we doing this? I mean, it seems like networking's been out for a couple of years. Why are we doing this now?
So the timing of it is just a combination of the feedback we've received and more around the conversations we've had with partners, that it's not intended to be an overly technical certification type training, which a lot of other vendors offer, and they're very vendor specific, and you kind of put something up on your wall that says you went through training.
Yeah.
This is more a true boot camp where it's going to be energizing, refreshing, and we're not only going to talk about the technology but connect it to your business, and it's going to be centered around the MSP because that's the only folks we talk to is managed services providers. And so we'll take what we've learned, what we've heard, and the timing is that over 2 years, the opportunity to offer a boot camp and get all of this information out has become very clear. It wasn't as obvious for us, 2 years ago to say like, hey, day one, let's start with a boot camp. But we've had so many conversations. We're all thinking like, how do we give this back? How do we relay what we're seeing in trends and help our partners be successful with networking overall? So that's what this boot camp is really all about.
So let's talk a little bit about the agenda and maybe share some of the information. You talked already about the fact that we're going to cover all of the different technical areas, the different products and networking.
Right.
But specifically, some of the agenda items, like give me an example of what somebody who's attending, what they might be able to expect.
So it's an all-day event at the boot camp, and we're going to cover the entire network, starting at the edge router. We'll talk about best practices and considerations there, from routing protocols, what they are, what they mean, how to use them, security considerations, from simple content filtering, intrusion detection, and again, not an advertisement about our product versus other products, but considerations about when you need these things, how you think about them, how you deploy them. And then moving through the network into switches, the different things you can accomplish with a switch to isolate traffic, some best practices in VoIP deployments using technology like LLDP Med that can automatically detect telephones and get them the right settings. What does that mean? How does that help you? And again, that's a standard. That's not unique to our switch. We offer that technology, as do other switches. So we'll talk about that. And of course, we'll move into Wi-Fi. The biggest thing around Wi-Fi, the biggest debate and discussion, because it's mostly an art, is site planning, and how do you think about the right number of access points, not only for the building and the construction of the walls, where should I put an AP, but how many APs, and what if I can't get wires to the right places? And so we'll move through each product category, and we'll talk about all of the things from initial deployment to tools that you can utilize, and even general troubleshooting and monitoring and managing a network. Again, not a deep dive like an RMM tool, but more of networking best practices to see, did you actually accomplish your goals now that you've deployed the network?
Okay. Is it going to be a classroom setting, or is it going to be hands-on? I mean, what's the
It'll be highly
like?
interactive. That's the Datto way, and certainly the Datto networking way. There'll be a combination of different resources in the room available. Certainly we'll have engineering available, product experts, different folks that are going to be available to communicate in real time. But the idea is we'll have a high-level agenda. We'll have deep dives throughout the product line, but it will largely adapt depending on who's in the room. So it's important to be there. And as you talk through each section, some things will go quick and say, yes, this all makes sense, sounds good. Others will stir up additional questions,
right,
and we'll kind of steer the conversation. So it's an interactive classroom type setting that will largely fluctuate based on the individual attendees and where the conversation goes, but follow an agenda so that we can make sure that we don't talk the entire day about a single topic, and that you really come out with empowering information across the entire different networking categories, from edge routing, switches, wireless deployments, and troubleshooting and managing the whole network.
Okay. So if I'm an MSP and I'm not planning to go to DattoCon, is there a way for me to be able to take advantage of this material, this content that we're planning on presenting during this?
Oh, well, first thing is you should come to DattoCon. DattoCon is an awesome event.
Yeah, actually talk about that for a few minutes.
Yeah, it's hard to resist. DattoCon's an awesome event, and of course we are sitting here as Datto employees, so of course DattoCon's an awesome event. I can say personally, I've been to DattoCon events prior to even being a employee, and can tell you firsthand, genuinely as an attendee, and now being behind the scenes and seeing how the business development team pulls this event together. It is highly focused around partner success. In fact, there's a conscious effort to make sure that it's not just a information cram. And the fact that the sessions are set up that way, the content's set up that way, but also the number of MSPs, there'll be over 2,000 MSPs together. So the hallway conversations you can have and the interactions you can have in a non-competitive environment where you can sit next to people and ask them, how are you doing this? What did you think about that last session? Have you tried these products? What's working? What's not working? It's just invaluable. So the peer-to-peer communication, the agenda that's taking
right,
place, and the content that's coming out is just amazing. And the boot camp is just an additional session you can attend while you're in town already. Or it might be a reason for you to bring a tech as well and have a material benefit that they can get early on from the event and come out sort of signed off that they've had a refresher and gone through all the networking things right before they go through the entire DattoCon event.
Right. So it sounds like we've got a lot of really good information, and I know DattoCon is always a great event. Every MSP I talk to absolutely loves it. It's one of the highlights of their year. Either the one in San Diego this year or the one coming up in Paris later this year. They're can't miss events.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's a great chance, and you get to connect with Datto at all levels of the org too. So
right,
we talked about peer-to-peer conversations, but not only with other MSPs, but you have everything from the C-suite, to engineers that are building one particular area of one particular product, and
right,
it's fun and engaging to get in the weeds on some things, or directly share feedback, or ideas of things that you'd like to see on the roadmap. I mean, DattoCon's a really unique opportunity to accomplish all of that in one place in just a few days.
Right. So thank you for the information. If you're interested in attending DattoCon and signing up for one of our boot camps, just go to DattoCon19. All of the information you need is right there. And we look forward to seeing you in San Diego. Thanks, John.
Absolutely. Thank you, Scott.